gets his goal. And now Beckham will hand over.
A legendary arrival in Istanbul. The skyline of Istanbul gleamed under the soft orange light of the late afternoon sun, the Bosporus Bridge stretching like an elegant line between two worlds. The city was buzzing with its usual hustle, the vibrant sounds of the Grand Bazaar, the clink of tea glasses in street cafes, and the distant call to prayer echoing across the city's minarets. But on this particular day, there was an added excitement in the air. The streets felt just a little bit more alive, a little more electrified, as whispers of a world-renowned figure visiting Istanbul began to spread like wildfire. David Beckham, the footballing icon who had captured the hearts of millions across the globe, was in town. But this wasn't just any ordinary visit, this was a father-son journey. Alongside him was his son Romeo Beckham, a young man whose own talents and aspirations were beginning to take shape in the shadow of his father's immense legacy. As their private jet touched down at Istanbul airport, a wave of media attention swelled. The father-son duo emerged from the jet, both dressed casually, yet effortlessly stylish, as they made their way into the city. David Beckham, at 49, still carried the unmistakable aura of a star athlete, with a charisma that made him stand out wherever he went. His son, Romeo, though quieter and less of a public figure, had his own undeniable presence. With a slightly disheveled mop of hair and the same sharp jawline that made his father an icon, Romeo was quickly becoming a figure in his own right, one the world was curious to see up close. Their trip to Istanbul was both business and leisure. As a father, Beckham was keen to share new experiences with Romeo, while also exploring potential opportunities in a city with such rich culture and history. Their visit was timed to coincide with an exhibition match in the city, a charity event that would see Beckham team up with some local legends, all in the name of raising funds for underprivileged youth. It was the perfect blend of family bonding and a chance to give back, two principles that were dear to Beckham's heart. The crowds gathered in anticipation outside the airport, the flash of cameras igniting a surreal atmosphere of excitement. As David Beckham and Romeo stepped into a sleek black car, they were immediately surrounded by the soft hum of journalists, all eager to capture even the smallest details of their visit. Yet, Beckham moved through it all with a quiet confidence, his arm casually resting on Romeo's shoulder, guiding him through the whirlwind that accompanied every step of their journey. Exploring the city's rich history. After settling into their luxurious hotel in the Sultanahmet district, with a breathtaking view of the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque, David and Romeo Beckham set out to explore the historical heart of Istanbul. The city, which straddles both Europe and Asia, was a blend of cultures, religions, and histories, all woven together through centuries of change. Their first stop was the Hagia Sophia, a symbol of Istanbul's complex and layered history. The massive structure, with its intricate mosaics and soaring domes, held centuries of stories within its walls. As David stood before it, the weight of the building's history seemed to sink in. "This is incredible," he said, his voice tinged with awe. Romeo, who had inherited his father's quiet curiosity, stood beside him, his eyes scanning the intricate details of the mosaics, the ones that told tales of Byzantine emperors and Ottoman sultans. They wandered through the museum, exploring the artifacts that lined the walls. It was clear that both father and son shared an appreciation for the magnificence of the world's cultural landmarks. David, though accustomed to the grandeur of football stadiums, found himself captivated by the delicate artistry of the mosaics. Romeo, in turn, took pictures with his phone, capturing moments of beauty that would undoubtedly stay with him for a lifetime. As they continued their exploration, they found themselves drawn toward the streets that led to the Grand Bazaar, one of the oldest and largest covered markets in the world. The hustle of merchants peddling their goods, the smell of spices and leather, and the colorful fabrics that seemed to change with every step captured the essence of Istanbul's vibrant energy. David and Romeo strolled through the labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps echoing on the stone floors, while local shopkeepers called out to them in a mixture of Turkish and English. "This place is alive with stories," David said, his eyes glinting with excitement as he examined the intricate carpets and handcrafted jewelry. "It's the perfect place to get lost." Romeo smiled, nodding in agreement. "Yeah, it's like stepping back in time." For the next few hours, father and son immersed themselves in the pulse of the market, bargaining with shopkeepers for souvenirs and enjoying the excitement of discovering Istanbul's treasures. Despite the crowds and the media attention, they seemed to be in their element, enjoying the simple pleasure of wandering through a foreign land together. Later, over a dinner of meze and freshly grilled fish at a nearby rooftop restaurant, David and Romeo discussed their impressions of the day. The view of the Bosporus and the twinkling lights of the city provided a picturesque backdrop for the quiet conversation. "I think I could live here," Romeo mused, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "The city feels so alive." David smiled, placing his hand on his son's shoulder. "It's a special place. It's full of surprises." This would set the tone for a story that explores the deep bond between father and son, while also immersing the reader in the rich cultural fabric of Istanbul. I'll continue from here, delving further into the specifics of their journey, the charity event, and the moments of reflection that strengthen their relationship. Would you like me to continue with the next sections, or do you have specific events or details you'd like incorporated as the story progresses?